Test. Oh, okay, bet. Let's go. Yo, what's up, guys? Today I am making my first ever Gorilla Tag map. I've already got this over here. Thank you to Cat Craze for freaking showing the tutorial on how. What is this dead space right here, yo? I'm gonna need to fill that in later. So yeah, let's go. Oh, the sound audio. Why am I pressing? That's really weird. Okay, this is what I have right now. I just opened it like not even a minute ago. Like a minute ago, I'd say. 2 minutes, 5 minutes. And I just can tell already this is gonna go so good. Alright, now let's look at this.
And then double click the forest scene to open up the forest scene that is the actual.
I am very sorry, guys. Yes, I am using a tutorial at the worst moment possible. It's just cause I want to do it while I'm on stream, and plus I have no experience with Unity. I've used it before, but it just never works like this. Let me open mod. Let's go to here. Look, I failed so many times making this. Like, look, this is how many times I failed. And this is all like whenever I was stupid. Look, this is all last year. All through, this is after my birthday. 2 days after my birthday, I started making maps. All on the same day, and they never worked. So that's how that's going.
Actual forest map used inside of Gorilla Tag. And actually, I'm going to show you guys how I actually set up all of my projects. First of all, I'm going to copy and paste this forest scene into the scenes folder under a new folder called 0 project, which this will hold all of my future custom map scenes so I can have multiple custom maps inside of this one Unity project. And then I'm going to make sure
I guess that would be smart. Assets. What do you press? Create folder. Custom. Yeah, I'll just name it custom assets. There we go. Custom assets right here. I'm not gonna drop my forced instance.
sure that I have this empty Unity project called the.
Oh shit! Wait. What in God's name? Okay, is that good? Okay, good. I have everything that
Map root, which if you do not have one of these map roots, right click in your little inspector window and then rename that empty to map root. And on this empty object, if there is not already, select it and add the map descriptor.
Map descriptor. This is the part where I just could not figure out. This is the part where. Never mind. It's already in there. Damn. That's a miracle. Thank you, God. Thank you. Okay. Well, it's already in there. So we don't need to worry.
Your component where you can change some settings about your map. And basically you gotta put all of your map objects underneath this empty object for everything to export correctly, which we'll do later. Which now it's actually time to add some necessary components to this map. Which those things are going to be this virtual stump.
Yo, I remember. You have to add this right here. I think. Look, let me show you guys how I know this. Let me do it. Prefabs. It's all right here. See, guys, I know what I'm doing a little bit. Not too much, but I have not read all of these, so I just know that this is. If you don't have this in your map, then you're kind of cooked. I mean, do you need it? Yeah, I don't know I don't remember if you do need it, cause like. I'm sorry,
Prefab that you can.
I just think you need it so like you can always go back into Stump, or you could just use the watch.
Find underneath the map prefabs folder, along with all these other cool prefabs that have already come with this example map, like the hoverboards, teleport.
So to test this out, I'm gonna put in a custom asset. So, alright, let me think of an asset. Okay. For now, I'll just put anything. Oh, rope singer? Let's put a rope singer right here. Yeah. Right here, I could just like lift it up a little bit. I don't even know if this is gonna work. Wow, I'm like double clicking on everything. Why is it Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that a couple more times. I'm clicking the most random things. I'm just clicking what I think I should click. I'm gonna put this one a little bit higher. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. Alright, so now we got this. Okay. Now, let's see what else he's gonna say.
Porters, and even working ATMs. Now for me, whenever I usually create a whole
What if I buy shiny rocks in my map?
new project that has a lot of files, I set up my folders like this. I go underneath the assets folder, and then I make a new folder underneath the assets folder and name it 0 projects. And then underneath that projects folder, I make a new folder and name that folder whatever map I'm working on, which in this case, I'm gonna name that folder tutorial. And underneath that tutorial folder, I add 1 model, 2 text.
Aha! That is smart. Custom assets. Okay, let's do a new folder. Create folder. I'll just name it custom sounds. Alright, I'll put C for custom. C sounds. Yeah, so C sounds. Okay. C sound assets. C sound. New folder. C. No, we'll just put maybe C. Putting C for that's not the best idea. C sound. Yeah, let's just use sound assets. Oh my god. New folder. We'll just name this one. Models. I want to see how he sorted out. Yeah, so delete that. Yeah, let's just delete. Oh. Well, whenever I did that, delete the whole thing. What do you name this? Custom assets? I'm gonna name it custom assets. Custom assets.
Pictures, 3 sounds, 4 animations, and 5 scripts, all as separate folders to store all of my stuff.
1 models. Okay, bet. I'm just gonna create a folder. There should be something where you can click it. 1 models. I shouldn't have to just keep on doing this. 2 textures and 3 sounds. 2 textures and 3 sounds. Okay. 2 textures and 3 sounds. Okay. Let's see who's watching anyway. I haven't even checked. 3 sounds. Yo, thank you to the one person watching me. Thank you. Alright, let's see. 4 animations. Okay, I don't know if I'm ever gonna use animations in here. I might. 4 animations. I think this one is 5. Yeah, it is 5 scripts. 5 scripts. Okay.
Nice and clean. And for importing and adding your own models into your map, you can simply just drag and drop your model into these folders.
What kind of model? What's
into
the
your
name?
map. You can simply just drag.
Wait. I need to read the
of my stuff nice and clean. And for importing and adding your own models into your map, you can simply just.
What is that?
Into your map, you can simply.
It'll take bouncy house style FBX. Okay, it's FBX. Okay.
Just drag and drop your model into these folders and then drag and drop those models into your Unity scene. And this is the same thing for textures or images. You can just drag and drop that texture into the folders in Unity and then drag and drop that texture onto one of your models in your scene. And if you want that texture to look really good, you can click on it in the files and make it point no filter. This will make your textures look. Now it's time for step 4, which not to freak you out or anything, but this step is probably one of the most troubling parts of map creation.
Base 44 super agents.
Yo,
the next thing you can't live without. Clearing up your email.
Exporting your map, which I'm gonna try to keep it nice and simple, but still show you all the bugs and issues you could run into and how to fix them. First of all, you want to make sure that all of your models are underneath this empty Unity object called the map root, which we should have made earlier, and just double check that underneath that map root you have.
I remember I made a parkour. It was so tiny. I still remember how to make the scripts for the make a little parkour. I remember one script. I remember this one script, and I'm always gonna remember it because it was a really good and useful script. I'm gonna use a lot
this component
in my map after I'm all done.
When it called the map descriptor, which in this descriptor you have an option to turn your lighting on or off, which I know it sounds a bit weird.
Yeah, I turned off lighting.
Weird to have no lighting in a map, but for the sake of you exporting your very first map and also making this tutorial quicker, I'm gonna skip lighting and just turn lighting off in the map descriptor. This will make exporting your map 10 times faster, and it will also let me cover lighting in a separate video. Which if I make that video, it'll be right here. Ooh. Also, just double checking, make sure that you put all the objects you might have recently added into your map underneath the map root empty object. This is because any objects that are not under that map root object are not going to get exported with your map, meaning that if you had all your objects outside of the map root, you will literally just have a blank map. I know, pretty boring. Oh, also a little side note, you can rename your map root to literally whatever you want. I just like the sound of map root, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. But now to actually export your map, that's right, bro, you gotta lock in. Go to the top left bar of your Unity, click tools, and then click export maps. Now, if you have any Unity scenes in like this little exporter part, remove all of those scenes, and then click the add open scene, which should be the scene or the map that you are trying to export. And then once you add that map there, make that scene the initial scene. And now just fill out the rest of the map exporter with all the other information that you would like the different game modes.
Okay, I'll just use casual.
The scripts for coding in your map, which I will again get to in another video, your default game mode, and your watch. But before you actually click that big export map button, I want you to go over to the map validation tab and click validate map. Now this is very important because it is making sure that your map is perfect and ready to go. And if your map is perfect and ready to go, you should see this little
Am I supposed to read that? I don't know if I'm supposed to read whatever it says over there. How clear that is.
pop up saying that your map is good to go. But if you validate that big export map and that pop-up does not show up, you will either see any errors as a pop-up, or you will see your errors in the Unity console, which to get there, you just exit out of the map exporter and then go in the bottom left and then
Okay. I think I'm warnings. Select. Oh. Okay, I'm so glad I saw that. Okay, please. Oh my god. Yo, that actually saved my life. Okay. Yes! Yeah! Let's go! Alright, one person. The 4 people. You just watched me successfully validate my map. That is one step closer for me playing my map. Alright, now let's see what else we are ready to do.
then click console and you'll see any errors there. Make sure you clear the console and then validate your map again if you want to see any new errors. But don't worry, usually errors in here are not that big of a deal to fix. It's mostly stuff like just making sure you're putting all of your objects underneath the map root, making sure that you have a map root with the map descriptor component onto it. Yes, you need that. Or just making sure that you have the virtual stump prefab in your map. But once you fix those issues and you validate your map again and it says that it's good, you're now good to export your map. So now go back into that little map exporting section and then click export map, and then just make sure that this .zip file goes into your exports folder in your Unity project, and then name that .zip file something like whatever map you're making. So for me, I'm gonna name it Tutorial Force 1.0.1, which now just click OK, and depending on if you turn your light,
I should have really just renamed it. I just left it how it was. Yeah, let's go. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. Let me switch the scenes and I'll come back. Guys, I am back, and yeah, it successful. I don't know why my mic is so quiet, but if you can hear me, I exported my map, and it was good. So yeah, let's go. Look. Successful. Let's go. I know what to do. Placeholder. What's a placeholder? What's a placeholder? Dude. Okay. Very successful.
On or off in the exporter, it should be a fairly quick export. And I'd say if you're 0, put your exports folder in your Unity project, and then name that .zip file something on if you turn your light long time to beat. But if so, sadly, there are still some issues that you could run. But you get this error, lazy bum. I know you did.
I know what to do. For the rest of the stuff, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Like, guys, just watch me. Look. Let's go. Add level. Name. Hidden sprays. Stop saying my name is incorrect. First map. It's my first map. I'm just gonna load a thumbnail of this. Hold on. I ain't getting no picture on my thing, but I'm just gonna pull in any photo I find. Right here. It's good. Select. Homepage. I don't need that. I don't need that. Yes. Admin. Blah, blah, blah. Public. Create level. Oh. This is. I just know that you don't need this. This is only optional. Alright, let's go. Nope. Trash. What was the file location? Oh, I could just do that. I am stupid. Validation number, I'm gonna do 1.0.0. Yay! I agree. Term service. Upload and publish. We are doing it. We did it. I have officially posted my first map. Warning, archiving this level with unsubscribable. Okay. No, I'm good. Okay, now, new collections. Merge. Oh, new. Subscribe. Yes! Yes! Let's go! Alright guys, I'm gonna go test out my map. My map that I have created. I will be back with you guys in a second. But thank you guys so much for all the support. And look at me, I'm creating a map now. Alright guys. I'll be back very soon. I'll let you guys know if my map was successful or not. So, bye bye.